Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Monday, April 13th, 2026. I'm Rihanna Nakram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Drivers react as fuel shortage causes city gas stations to institute a quota. Guyana expands regional food trade with the first soya export to Barbados. Construction works on a $6.8 billion hospital for Bartica began this weekend. And a mother is remanded after being charged with the murder of her 7-year-old daughter. Gas stations across Georgetown were overwhelmed today as long lines formed following reports of a fuel shortage. President Irfan Ali says the situation is being addressed, confirming that he met with fuel importers and has been assured that new shipments are expected as early as tonight, with additional supplies already being sourced to meet demand. He added that authorities are closely monitoring the situation to ensure stability and continued supply. Despite those assurances, drivers rush to secure fuel amid uncertainty, with some stations introducing limits on purchases. Early in the day, Rubis gas station capped sales at $2,000, while Mobile only allowed purchases up to $3,500. Mobile later closed after running out of fuel, while Rubis and Guyana Oil Company Limited, GuyOil, have raised their price. Before closing, a representative at the Mobile station on New Market Street told Ignite News that supplies were already running low, with at least one grade unavailable.
So right now, we're only allowing customers to take $3,000 or less. Nothing past that.
Okay,
And that's extra only because Supreme is out.
Similar scenes were reported at the Guyana Oil Company Limited station along Kitty Public Road, where long lines formed as drivers scrambled to fill their tanks. Across the city, frustrated motorists raised concerns about rising prices and limited access.
The only thing with this gas situation, I wish if we didn't get a heads up long before than this current rush what we have in here. If you can see, the line is very, very, very long, plus the gas prices has gone up tremendously over the past couple hours. So I would advise everybody to come down and just gas up.
The situation also comes against a backdrop of ongoing global supply concerns after more than a month of disruption in the Strait of Hormuz. The strait, which transits a fifth of the world's oil and gas, has been closed by Iran and is now under U.S. blockade, tightening fuel flows worldwide. A U.S. $10.8 million Ghana-China Friendship Park has officially opened on the west bank of Demerara, transforming the former Joe Vera Park into a modern recreational hub. Funded through a grant from China, the facility features an open-air theater, football field, basketball and tennis courts, jogging tracks, a children's play area, pavilion, lotus pond, unupgraded accessible amenities. At Sunday's commissioning, President Irfan Ali described the park as a symbol of enduring partnership.
It is therefore fitting that this park is symbol of friendship between Guyana and China should be located here in West Demerara. For it is on this very soil, watered by the labor and sacrifice of those first indentured souls, that a human thread of connection between our two peoples were first woven. That thread, though stretched across decades and oceans, never snapped. Never snapped.
The site, originally gifted to the state in 1982 by Joseph Rudolph Vera, has now been reimagined into a multi-purpose space for families and visitors. Chinese Ambassador Yang Yang says the park reflects a people-centered partnership between the two countries and celebrates a long-standing friendship.
This mark stands as a tribute of Chinese government to Guyana's 60th independence anniversary and a celebration of our lasting and strong friendship.
Residents have already begun embracing the space.
Yeah, the park is nice. I like it. It's very clean so far. I like how everybody using the bins and everything. The rim, everything good, everything clean. See the fellas out here, we playing, we having a good time. Also.
The park is expected to serve as a key community and tourism asset while reinforcing ties between Guyana and China. Guyana is set to export soybeans to Barbados for the first time, marking a major step in expanding regional food trade. President Dr. Irfan Ali made the announcement at the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce Outlook meeting, noting shipments are expected within the next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks, you will see we will export for the first time soybeans to Barbados. We are now partnering with DR, India, and others to have large-scale tropical fruits production. We started the building out of a large-scale coffee industry and cocoa industry, all with strategic partners.
The president said that Ghana has been strategic in selecting its business partners, highlighting successful collaborations that support the building out of large-scale agriculture, expanded infrastructure, and the provision of enabling environments.
We are targeting agriculture in a major way, soya, everything. And what we have done is that we have given all the fiscal incentives, zero corporate tax on everything with agro-processing, everything with infrastructure, equipment, machinery, and we are buying the technology for the farmers. We are co-investing for large-scale farmers, helping to put in that infrastructure. So all of this we are doing to enable the agriculture sector to grow.
He added that building a strong agricultural ecosystem remains central to the country's push for value-added production and export expansion. The Origins Ghana Fashion Festival returned for its second staging, bigger, bolder, and backed by new cash prize awards and production support for local talent. The July 3rd to 5th event was officially launched Friday at the Railway Courtyard, just in time for the country's 60th independence celebrations. During the launch, Tourism Industry and Commerce Minister Susan Rodriguez says the festival is bigger than a fashion show.
We are sending a clear and unmistakable message this evening. Origins has grown. It has evolved. It has matured. And this year, it will be elevated to something truly special.
As part of the evolution, organizers are putting money behind the movement. 30 designers will be selected to showcase, with grants to support production, while model casting is expected to roll out nationwide. Additionally, there will be 5 competitive awards.
I am pleased to announce that this year, we will be introducing 5 official awards: Best Fashion Designer, Best Emerging Designer, Outstanding Storyteller or Innovator, Best Female Model, and Best Male Model.
Producer and creative director Andrea King says the festival was created to address a long-standing gap in the industry where local talent existed, but lacked the structure and platforms to properly showcase and grow their work.
What makes Origins particularly important is that it functions more than a showcase. It creates momentum. It establishes a point of connection between designers and the market, between creativity and audience, and between talent and opportunity.
The festival remains free to attend, though registration will be required for runway shows. Organizers said the expanded program aims to position Ghana's fashion industry on the global stage while creating real pathways for growth. The body of pilot Captain Ryder Castillo has been recovered following Friday's crash of an Air Services Limited Cessna 208 aircraft. The Rescue Coordination Center says Ghana Defense Special Forces successfully reached the crash site and retrieved the remains, with extraction now being finalized. Authorities, including the Ministry of Public Works, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, and the GDF, have extended condolences to the pilot's family. The investigation into the cause of the crash is ongoing. One return, a major investment in healthcare for Bartica. A Georgetown family devastated by a gas explosion, and a young woman hospitalized after a violent attack on the east bank of Berbice.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Welcome back. We begin with a major healthcare boost coming to Region 7. Bartica is set for a major healthcare transformation with a $6.8 billion regional hospital now in development. The sod was turned Saturday at 5 miles, marking the start of a project expected to be completed within 2.5 years and serve residents across Region 7. Health Minister Dr. Frank Atney says investment reflects lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic.
If COVID did not allow us to recognize the challenges that we can have, When health does not work, then nothing would help us to bring us to that realization.
He says the government has significantly expanded healthcare infrastructure in recent years.
And if you fast forward, in the last 5 years, you would have seen that we have built close to 25 health centers and health posts across this country.
The new facility will include a 24-hour accident and emergency unit, diagnostic imaging such as CT scans and ultrasound, 2 operating theaters and a maternity ward, and approximately 50 inpatient beds. Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Minister Gil Teixeira says the project delivers on a commitment to residents.
I promised on behalf of Mr. Ali, President Ali, that you would get a new hospital. May not as fast as you want it to be, but we've kept our promise to you, the people of Bartica.
Also speaking was Mayor of Bartica, Anthony Murray, who said the project will significantly improve access to healthcare.
This hospital symbolizes something greater. It means that our people no longer have to travel long distance and receive proper care.
The project will be executed by China-Guyana Engineering Company. Once completed, the hospital is expected to reduce the need for residents to travel long distances for treatment, bringing modern healthcare services closer to home. A Georgetown family is counting its losses after a gas explosion tore through the East Rumvelt home early Sunday morning, leaving a husband and father critically injured. 56-year-old Troy Allen remains hospitalized with severe burns. His wife, Melissa Allen, says she woke shortly after 2 a.m. and immediately smelled gas.
We go to bed around 9 something, 10. I wake up 2:32 a.m. It's 12 of April. Upon coming out of the room that we slept in, I smell gas, strong gas. I turn around back and wake up my husband. And I tell you, babe, just smelling strong gas.
She says her husband went to investigate, but when he entered the kitchen and switched on the light, the house exploded. He is now listed in critical condition, but showing signs of responsiveness.
They say condition remain the same, but in there, fight if he life. He responding, like if you ask a question that requires no, yes or no, he shaking your head yes, no. He opening the eye, I tell you open the eye wide, he open the eye wide. I tell you, if you don't, he left your foot. Tell you lift your hand, he lift your hand.
The explosion caused extensive damage to the home, leaving the family struggling to recover.
Right now, prayers, and I'm glad for reconstruction. It's everything damaged, gas stove, everything you could think about that could be in a house.
Persons who wish to offer assistance can contact Melissa Allen at 592-660-6482 as investigations continue. A 27-year-old woman is hospitalized after she was shot by her ex-partner in a brazen daylight attack in Islington Village, East Bank, Berbice. Vasanti Gordon, a business owner and mother of 2, was reportedly sitting in her car outside her home on Saturday when she was approached by 28-year-old Damian Morgan. Reports indicate an altercation occurred, during which several shots were fired, leaving Gordon with gunshot injuries to her leg and thigh. She was rushed to the New Amsterdam Regional Hospital, where condition is listed as stable. Police recovered a spent shell at the scene, but the suspect remains on the run. Gordon's mother, Kay Gordon, says incident may have stemmed from an earlier confrontation.
I was told that there was a conflict between the guy and another relative, and after the conflict was at the market wharf. We left from there and he come home. We met my daughter in her car. She was going out, and I don't know, like they told him had some confrontation, and he shot her 5 times.
Vasanti is expected to undergo surgery tomorrow, and Kay is hoping for her daughter's full recovery. Gordon, who operates a local beauty business, is the mother of 2 young children. The suspect is known to police with a history of serious offenses, including a major robbery case in 2023. Investigations are ongoing. A 26-year-old woman has been remanded to prison after being charged with the murder of her 7-year-old daughter. Sarah Elizabeth Shiprasad of Firish Village appeared before Magistrate Michelle Matthias at the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court, where the charge was read. No plea was required. The case has been adjourned to May 12 at the Albion Magistrates Court. Police said the incident occurred on April 5th, and a post-mortem confirmed the child died from manual strangulation. Sheriff Prasad was deemed fit to stand trial following a psychiatric evaluation. Reports indicate she also attempted to harm her infant son, who survived. Cell reports also say she had been experiencing emotional distress prior to the incident. The child was laid to rest last Friday. When we come back, government supports Ghana's rising track stars. A record prize pool announced for the Women's T20 World Cup, and a major injury blow for Tottenham.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Night News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. We begin with athletics and high praise for Ghana's Crifta team. Ghana's Crifta athletes are being tipped for global success, with government expressing confidence in the country's track and field future. At a recognition ceremony Saturday evening at China-Guyana, Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport Charles Ramson Jr. said athletics holds the greatest potential for international impact.
I believe in my heart, and so does President Ali, that track and field and our athletes, it has the largest potential for giving us global recognition at a global stage, at a sports stage.
He added that Ghana could produce an Olympic medalist from this current crop of athletes.
I also believe, and I think that there is clear evidence to suggest, that there are athletes who competed in this last Crifta Games who are potential medal winners at the next Olympics or the Olympics after that. I believe that. And there's nobody that can tell me otherwise.
The Crifta team secured 6 medals overall, with Tiana Springer, Malachi Austin, and Olivia Solomon capturing individual gold. Springer and Austin also held Power Ghana to gold in the mixed 4x400 meters relay, setting a new Crifta record. The International Cricket Council has announced a record US $8.76 million prize pool for the upcoming Women's T20 World Cup in England. That's a 10% increase from 2024. The new pool is driven by the tournament's expansion to 12 teams on a larger group stage. Winners will again take home US $2.34 million, with runners-up earning just over $1 million. While base participation payments have increased, teams will now rely more heavily on match wins to boost earnings. The ICC says the changes are aimed at rewarding performance and supporting the continued growth of the women's game. Tottenham Hotspur have been dealt a major blow, with captain Cristian Romero ruled out for the remainder of the season. The defender suffered a serious knee injury during a 1-0 defeat to Sunderland, leaving the field after a collision with his goalkeeper. Medical tests confirmed ligament damage, with recovery expected to take up to 8 weeks. That sidelines Romero from Spurs' final 6 matches as they battle to avoid relegation. The injury could also impact his availability for Argentina's upcoming World Cup campaign. Tottenham currently sit 18th in the Premier League, just 2 points from safety. Still ahead, Jamaica rebounds with Carnival after a devastating storm. A U.S. court throws out a high-profile lawsuit by Donald Trump, and global oil prices surge as tensions persist in the Strait of Hormuz.
Prems Electrical help you turn that dream home or project into a reality. We have the ability to be the one supplier for all your residential and commercial electrical requirements. Our great prices ensures ongoing customer satisfaction, from brightening up your space to setting the mood. You're sure to find what you need in our amazing lighting range. Prems Electrical, Guyana's electrical giants. 177 Alexander Street, Laceytown. Telephone 227-7765.
Welcome back. We begin in the Caribbean, where Jamaica is signaling recovery through one of its biggest cultural events. Jamaica Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has expressed satisfaction with the turnout for Carnival in Jamaica on Sunday, despite some opinions that crowd sizes were smaller than last year. He described the road march as a strong success, emphasizing that it showcased Jamaica's resilience and readiness for visitors following the destruction caused by Hurricane Melissa. Jamaica Observer reported that Bartlett noted that the event provided a much-needed emotional release after the trauma of the hurricane and highlighted the country's ability to organize large-scale events efficiently. He also acknowledged global challenges, including high fuel prices linked to tensions involving Israel, Iran, and the United States. The minister added that Carnival attracted both locals and international visitors, though official figures are pending. He noted last year's event generated $165.7 billion and said achieving 60% of that this year would still be satisfactory. In international news, a federal judge has dismissed a defamation lawsuit brought by U.S. President Donald Trump against the Wall Street Journal, ruling the case falls far short of the legal standard. The lawsuit claimed the newspaper damaged Trump's reputation with a report linking him to a burden message for disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. Trump insists the document is fake, but U.S. District Judge Darren P. Gales found no evidence of what's known as actual malice, meaning the paper knowingly published false information or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. In his ruling, the judge noted the journal included Trump's denial in its reporting, allowing readers to draw their own conclusions. The decision marks a setback in Trump's broader legal campaign against major media outlets, which critics say could threaten press freedom. Trump says he will refile the case by the court's deadline later this month. The Wall Street Journal's parent company welcomed the ruling, standing by what it called the accuracy and rigor of its journalism. Finally, this evening, the global oil lifeline is tightening tonight after the United States launched a military blockade targeting ships entering and leaving Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz. The move follows the collapse of weekend talks with President Donald Trump, warning Iran will not be allowed to develop nuclear weapons. The blockade effectively cuts off Iran's export channels while raising the risk of wider disruption across global energy markets. President Trump also warned Iranian vessels to stay clear of U.S. forces, saying any approach would be met with decisive force. U.S. Central Command says the blockade is now in effect, enforced by naval forces, but stops short of fully closing the strait. Still, the impact is immediate. The waterway carries about 1/5 of the world's oil supply, and shipping traffic is already slowing, with some tankers turning away. Oil prices have surged above $100 a barrel, raising fears of wider economic fallout. Iran has condemned the move and warned of retaliation, while key allies, including the United Kingdom, are urging diplomacy.
We're not supporting blockade, and all of the marshalling diplomatically, politically, and capability. We do have minesweeping capability. I won't go into operational matters, but we do have that capability. That's all focused from our point of view on getting the straits fully open. I want to be really clear about that. In terms of the decisions that I've made as the British Prime Minister in the British national interest, which is where I've focused and anchored all my decision has been very clearly that whatever the pressure, and there's been some considerable pressure, we're not getting dragged into the war. The UK is not getting dragged in. That's not in our national interest, because I'm not going to act unless there's a clear lawful basis and a clear thought-through plan.
Meanwhile, International Energy Agency says it stands ready to release more emergency oil reserves if needed, after already coordinating the largest stockpile release in history. But its chief warns those reserves are not a solution, only a way to reduce the pain, as the conflict drives what could be the worst global energy disruption in decades. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nakram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.